baseball.
And back here live, it's a grand slam of music and sports. He just pointed that out to us right here.
There we go.
CRS 2025 rolls on. Brandon Morrell, Caden Gordon here, presented by the CadenGordonShow.com, today's best country mix, and of course our friends Sandy June Music, Olivia Rocks Music. They'll be around hanging out here at some point today. It's day one, and I'm just glad we're here again. And I can't just stress that enough that everybody got here in one piece last night. Delayed 5 hours in Dallas, and we're live in Nashville today.
That's
For
crazy.
the next 3 days, bringing the show on the road out there. Jurgensmeyer, what's up?
I'm glad to be back. You know, a year later, getting to talk to you again. I'm fortunate that I'm from here and that I live here, so I didn't have to deal with too bad of weather. And my parents, came and picked me up and drove me here today. So, I'm a little blessed, but I'm glad to be back.
It's good to have you, man. Well, let's talk about the latest project too as well. Love this song, love this single, and you got some great music out there too. Talk about 2025.
Absolutely. So Midwest Sunset, you mentioned before we went on the air, and it is the second release off of an entirely acoustic EP that I'm finishing up right now. So we have another song coming out here next month, so be ready for that, March. I don't have a date yet, but I know it's in March, so be looking at my socials. And then right after that, we're trying to put stuff out about every 8 weeks. So we'll have a quick turnaround after that song, and we'll have about a 5-song acoustic EP, Bound You, Midwest Sunset, and then this next one being a part of it. And then we just booked our first session to go in and start the next full production album, which will be phase 3.
Love that too.
Awesome.
Talk about just the overall just collaborations. We're seeing more and more of it in the industry now. When you see some of the old school 90s artists coming across to collaborate with young artists like yourself, I think it's a great thing for the industry, and it kind of caters right there to show you the way things are going there, because you get all that great expertise of people that have done it for 20 or 25 years, and now cross over to male, female, or female, male, whatever it is. It's a great thing for the industry.
Agreed. I've been very fortunate by the people that I've worked with have had years ahead of me. Whether it was Butch Baker, who was an artist and now is a producer and a pitcher and a song plugger. The guy who I produced my last album with, Dan Rizal, he used to own Legend Studio, which was a legendary studio in Nashville. And every session player that I have in, it was funny. My girlfriend and I went to the ACM Honor Awards in 2024, and that's where they honor producers and writers and musicians. And guitar player of the year was Rob, who I know by name, like on a first name basis with. He's played on my stuff. And then we've got Michael for keys player of the year, Michael Dorn. And I was like, all these guys have played on my music. All these guys have this knowledge and these years ahead of me that I'm able to pull from. And that's when I kind of realized, my girlfriend, I was like, man, I'm like blessed that I get to work with these people and I get to continue to work with them. So I hope that is heard through the music that I put out, and I hope that people can really hear the progression of not just the music but myself as a person.
Absolutely, for sure. Now, if you had the opportunity to collaborate with anyone that you have not collaborated with before, who would you choose?
That's such a tough question, because do I go like female artist or do I go? I'll give you two. Yeah, I'll give you two. So one of them I know, and it'll probably be a while, but hopefully we can make this. Sabrina Carpenter. I've known Sabrina since I was 10, and we did a movie together for Disney. So obviously, she's the queen of pop right now. I'm sure Taylor Swift fans will get mad at me for saying that, but I'm just saying right now, Sabrina is doing it, and I feel like it'd be pretty cool to do not necessarily a country song, but a singer-songwriter style song. She has an acoustic song on her Short and Sweet album, that Coincidence song, and I feel like that'd be kind of cool to do together. And then for the male side, Cody Johnson.
Yeah,
we just went and saw him on Valentine's Day, and I mean, saw him last year, saw him this year. He's just as good. He got better, which I didn't think was possible from how good he was. He's so talented. He can sing, he can write, he can perform and entertain. If I ever got a chance to get in a studio with him or just a room to write with him, my life would be complete. I could die.
Right, I'm with you on that too. The Leather album has to be
one
of the greatest of all time in country music, and what he did with those songs and who specifically he worked with.
His deluxe version of it too. I mean, he was my most streamed artist on Spotify. You get the little. I was in the 0.01% of Cody Johnson listeners. That's how much I listened to Kojo in 2024. Georgia Peaches was a great song off that second half of that album, and Come On Cowgirl, I think is my favorite song, written to like his daughter. And I think that's so cool to do because you don't imagine that's where that song's going to go. And then he says, first grade ain't that tough, and you just cry. I'm a grown man crying in my car listening to Cody Johnson. I think that he's such a George Strait will always hold the title of King of Country Music, but I also think that title changes throughout the eras as well. Overall, King George always going to have that. But I think if he isn't already, in the next 3 years, Cody Johnson will be the King of Country Music for this era.
You want to live off that record too? You just hit a nerve. Work boost. I had to leave that off.
Come on, work boost. Got a little work to do. I'm listening to that, and I was like, hell yeah, we do. Yeah. Two-stepping, baby.
And then I love it because just being from Texas, you know me down there, too. That's Texas. Because you know who I just had on the show a couple of weeks ago?
Who?
Robert Wilkin.
No way.
Full-length interview up on the website. It's out there.
I'm going to go listen to it. I'm not even kidding. That is so cool.
The sportsguyspodcast.com. It's archived there. And it's Robert Wilkin for 35 minutes.
Oh, my
telling stories,
gosh.
playing music.
What a legend. That's so awesome. That's Texas. And then when he put his song "Welcome to the Show" that's not on the album, I wish I could have heard him perform that at the Houston Livestock Rodeo. I think that would have been so cool. But yeah, I love me some Cody.
Now let's talk about touring and things like that. Stepping on stage. Is there plans for 2025?
Yes, sir. So we already kind of kicked it. I was actually the first writers round at the Bluebird Cafe this year of 2025. I was the first one of the year. That was pretty cool. We played in Kansas City on the Kansas side of Kansas City. Still some Chiefs fans over there, though, so it's all right. I'm a Titans guy, but I won't hold it against you. I don't know who we're going to draft this year. I'm sorry, I went on a tangent there.
It's all good. We have sports, too.
We have the number one draft pick, and everybody's telling me everything that we should not take. Yeah, let's take Shedeur Sanders. Right, with our no O-line. Yeah, he's going to die. He's going to break his, scapula the first play. Anyways, we played in Kansas City. We're going to be back there a few times this year. I think we're going to be in Eastern Virginia. We're constantly adding shows, especially for the summer. That's right now is when they're getting booked, and then even into the fall of 2025, we're already thinking about. So all that's on my website, Jurgensmeyer.com. There's a little tour section. Y'all can see where I'll be playing.
Looking forward to it, man. Always good to catch up with him. He's one of the most talented in the business, no doubt about it. The acting side, the music side, he's done it all out there too, and we appreciate you always stopping.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Always one of the best out there. Day one coverage rolls on. I'm not sure who's next. I'll just walk through the curtain at some point. We'll just do something impromptu.
George Strait.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Let's get him in here.
Let's get him in here too. KKTC, True Country 99.9. And our friends out there too, hightidecountry.net. And of course, out there too as well. The KateandGordonShow.com, today's best country mix. We're back in a flash in the Sports Guys Podcast.com, where you can catch all the archived interviews out there. The great Jet Jurgensmeyer. And coming up next, we'll find out who. Stay tuned. More coverage coming up here. God bless. Take care. We'll see you back in a flash.